Hey guys, how are you doing? I don't know what Pandora's box I'm about to open with this conversation, but here I am. And this has been up in my world the last couple of days and today quite intensely. And the question really is like, is abuse created because you are too something? So that something could be I'm too beautiful, I'm wearing red lipstick, So does that mean like I can be sexually abused or I can be like abused because now I'm opening up an invitation to be abused because I look a certain way or I dress a certain way or I act a certain way. So my question really is to start inviting us to look at this whole concept of abuse. So there's so many types of abuse you can have, by the way. It's not just sexual, it's not just energetic, it's not just financial, it can also be physical. Abuse can be done on so many levels. And I had a really interesting morning where I've had people literally ask me that question, like, I think it's because I'm too much. So I wanted to just open this up to anybody watching, and if it's up in your world right now, I'd like you just to drop that. Like anywhere, there's been any level of physical, sexual, or even people talking to you in a way that doesn't feel generative and kind for you and your body or nurturing or allows you to be you. That's abuse in my world, and that's not okay. So I'm not talking, questions right now. I'm literally just going to tell you guys what I perceive. So hey, Delaney, hey, Brittany and Tony. So yeah. If you're too sexy or you're too beautiful, did you deserve the abuse? And this is where I want to say, no, you didn't deserve the abuse. And this is going to probably not be a Facebook Live topic, but really honestly, like an abuser just targets someone because they're around and they're like that person. So there's all sorts of like intricacies and everything to do with narcissism and abuse. But what I want people to know out there, because I've just spent the morning facilitating people going, no, it was never you. You're never too beautiful. You're never too sexy. You're never too much. You were never too loud. You were never too vocal. You were never too anything. So any of you guys like out there who have been feeling like you've been targeted or you've been abused in any way because you're too much of anything, would you please just do me a little favor? And please, 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 everywhere you've bought that as real and true, would you be willing to let it really go? You're not too anything. You're not too beautiful. You're not too sexy to be abused. That does not invite abuse into your world. So yesterday, so interesting this topic because I've had like clients call me about this today. And then yesterday I posted up my shot in a red bikini. Okay, it was like hot and it's sexy, and today I'm wearing my red lipstick to match my red bikini. And all morning I had like a couple of men, I didn't really know them, but like literally bombard me with message after message after message after message with no real response from me, but really this energy of like, come and stay with me, come and like sleep with me, come and like live on my boat, let me cook for you, and all of this energy. And I was looking at that myself going, posting a picture of bikini isn't an invitation to hit on somebody, especially if they're not asking for it. To post a picture of a bikini isn't an invitation to think that this person is now interested in you in particular. And, this is what they're up for, like you can message them, you can, create this sexual tension or whatever. So I just wanted you guys to know, like, because in the past I would have made myself really wrong and probably pulled down my picture because it created a tension in a way that was feeling quite abusive. And how many of us do that? We post something or we say something and we show up as being more glamorous or more beautiful or, a lighter version of ourselves. And then somebody else responds to that in a way that has us then doubt that choice. Like, maybe I shouldn't have posted that picture. Look what that created. And maybe that's an awareness. But at the same time, that wasn't the invitation. The invitation was me actually stepping into more of me. So that's the second thing I want to invite you guys to is like, where have you been more of you? Where you've been that playfulness and that joy and, you're looking sexy, you're looking fabulous. And somebody thinks it's an okay time to come and hit on you or to make you feel uncomfortable. So anywhere that's even a reality, would you be willing to not make you wrong for being and showing up as more of you. That's not what you called for. That's not what was happening there at all. And the other thing, like, so that's a couple of things. Like, so one is like, don't make you wrong if you've shown up as more of you and it's invited abuse into your world. That has nothing to do with you. It has a lot to do with them. And then the second thing I want to say is like, how many of us then, when we get that reaction, go into making ourselves wrong and also trying to make that other person right? Like, obviously it was me. Obviously, you know, I invited this in, so now I'm wrong, I'm bad, I was a naughty person, I was a bad girl, I was a blah, 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 and you can finish all the sentences you've got going on, and we start to then justify and protect, in some cases, the other person, who's actually the person that shouldn't be doing this. Like, no, you didn't ask for them to hit on you, you didn't ask for them to touch you inappropriately, you didn't ask for them to talk to you inappropriately, all you did was show up as you. So everywhere, that's the second thing I want to talk about, is like when somebody is like that with you, please, 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 don't hide the abuser because you felt like you did something wrong and you then adjust your behavior. You can reflect on it, but let's stop hiding those people that actually make us feel uncomfortable, and let's stop hiding ourselves in terms of who we be and all the magic we be as well. Cool. I feel like I've ranted a little bit. Like, I've had one of those mornings where everybody's just come to me with questions around, you know, was it okay? Like, was that me that created that? Is it because I'm too sexy? Is it because I'm too beautiful? Is it because I'm too anything? And that was really my message today. It's like, no, you're not too anything. In fact, how many of us have spent our lives being less, putting ourselves into a box, dressing down, wearing things up to our necks, you know, trying to be appropriate, trying to be like polite, trying to be like all of these things, like pleasing other people. So we never draw more attention to ourselves. We never like bring any energies of anything up in our worlds because we're playing it so safe. And, you know, we don't step out of that. So everywhere, like, you're making yourself wrong, if you are stepping out of that and you are showing up and it's creating some attention, please don't make you wrong, and please don't stop doing that. There's going to be a lot of people out there. There's going to be people who send messages like this guy this morning, uncalled for, not required, really not responding. But it's also going to have some people inspired and say, wow, thank you for posting that. I would never dream to do that. So my invitation after this whole rant really is like, can you please show up as you, as the most beautiful version of you, as the most sexy version of you, as the over-the-top version of you, as being too much? Would you be willing to do that for you, not for anybody else? Because fast forward 50, 100, I don't know, 150 years, we're not going to be on the planet. And the one thing you're going to wish is you did turn it up. You did get to show up as you. You did get to celebrate you in your life. So, yeah, all those people watching, the abusers, no, you didn't choose to get abused because you're too anything. Some people just like to abuse people, and maybe you just became the target because you're being seen and you're being heard and you're showing up. But please don't stop showing up. Please don't stop being seen, and definitely do not stop being out of the box and celebrating you, your beauty, your kindness, your sexiness, like whatever that is. Keep showing up as more. And the more you know that it's you and you're okay to be that, the more the abusers will actually disappear. So, I hope all of that made some sort of sense. Like, I'm wearing my red lips. These lips are definitely open for some attention, but guess what? Attention doesn't need to equate to abuse. Attention can just be adoration. Attention can also be lust. Attention can also be like, you know, people admiring you. So, and that's not abuse, like, unless you choose it to be. So, what if everything you choose is about being more of you? And, yeah. Did that make sense, you guys? I know there's people still watching. Yeah, Ruth just said, I've noticed that some people think they own you when they find you attractive. Yeah, like because they have to try and control that. Some people, abusers especially, really have a very strong connection with control because that's the whole thing. Like, for example, with this guy this morning that I was talking about, he messages me like, it was insane. I feel like I should post his like comments up because it was absolutely insane. Like with him going, hi, do you want to come like to my boat? Do you want to come stay in my cottage? No response from me. And then he continues with like, you're so cheeky. I've got to say, bub, you look amazing. Like, and this constant like stream of unconsciousness like splattered across my messenger. And I barely know this person. So then I was like, what is that? And I got, in the past, had I have been less confident and less like aware of my own like worth and value, I probably would have taken my pictures down and gone, oh my God, I didn't want to create that. Like what? Like, oh my God, like look what I've created. This man is like going nuts. I must have done this. Instead of going, this man is insane. If he thinks a picture of a bikini on a screen means you can do this. That is not what that meant. Say you're beautiful, thank you, and now go away. I didn't call for the rest of the information. And that was probably done to try and control me. Because in the past, I would have gone into the story of like, oops, I did something wrong. Let's pull the picture down. Let's apologize to this guy for giving him the wrong impression versus going, hey, dude, no, I don't appreciate that. Thank you for appreciating my body and my picture. And that's it. You don't get to keep harassing me on Messenger. No. And I'm not pulling the picture down. I'm not hiding because that's not what I invited. That wasn't what that was. So I think it was Ruth that was saying, yeah, like that's the energy of like controlling you because they then start to control your behavior, your responses, and somehow try and like squash you to bring you down to the level where they can manipulate that. So that's the other thing. This wasn't meant to be a facilitation, but I'm having a big rant. Clearly, my own version of a Manjit rant. But yeah, so anywhere that's happened where you've been extra beautiful and someone's come up to you and like just honestly like projected all of this energy or delivered all of this energy that's been like insane for you and you've squashed you or changed your behavior according to that, would you be willing in the face of that to turn away, to take a step to the left or take a step to the right and be like, I am being beautiful for me. And I'm here to be admired because I have a beautiful body or I have a beautiful presence and I have like this generosity of spirit, whatever that is. And it's here to be appreciated by those people who know how to treat me right. So how does it get any better than that? Did all that make sense? Maria's watching, Ruth's watching. Does that make sense to you guys? Am I making sense? Did that contribute some energies to your world, you guys? Yeah, you got to train people. You've really got to train people how to treat you. So for me, it's very much an energy now of like, yeah, treat me like I'm beautiful. Treat me like I'm the princess or the goddess or the queen or the empress, whatever energy you want to take. And when there's a behavior where they're treating you in the way you don't want to be treated, you got to tell people. You got to let them know, this isn't the way you treat me. But that comes after you acknowledge that you're not too much. If you're not too much for you, then you're not too much for the world. And then when all those behaviors show up, you actually can empower yourself and let that person know and set a different standard and create a different reality. So lots of invitations in there, but I would love to invite you to be you. And in the face of abuse, really, really know it wasn't you. And then really train the people around you to treat you in the way you know you'd like to be treated. And this is whole like thing, I did a retreat last week, like being your own best friend. This is being your own best friend, is showing people, telling people, acknowledging people when they treat you the way you know you want to be treated. There's like a whole like conversation about this. Like it's that space of how do you know how to train people around you to treat you with total respect and kindness and adoration and admiration and inspiration that's also playful for you. Lots and lots and lots. Okay, you guys, thank you so much for that. And I adore you guys. I adore your support. Please let me know if you enjoyed this video and what you loved about what I'm saying. I rarely plan any of my conversations. There's usually just an energy up in my world, so I just hop online and see what's up in your world. So, yeah, judgment, abuse, treating people kindly, knowing how to train people to treat you kindly, all that stuff is like, it's huge stuff. So I could obviously not cover it all in a Facebook Live, but I definitely wanted to touch on, because there's just been like one thing after another today. Like the whole day has been like, hey, honey, like, you know, I got hit on today and I'm shaken up. I didn't invite it. Is it because I'm too pretty? Is it because I was too sexual here? And it's like, no, you would know if you were too much. Like you would actually know. And if you're questioning it, chances are it was never your fault. So don't blame you for being anything. And if you are too much for the people around you, go find people that you're not too much for. They exist, I promise. You'd never be too much for me. I would match it. All right, beautiful people. I hope you like my new red lipstick. It matches my new red bathing suit. All right, from Unicorn Headquarters, I'm checking out. I adore you, I love you, and I'll speak to you guys soon. How does it get any better?